Hello and welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be doing a reading for the week ahead for the collective. So looking at the general energies, looking at potential challenges, looking at the guidance to navigate these energies and all that kind of cool stuff. So before I get into the reading, I just want to say hello to all the new people that have started following me. I know there's been a big influx of people. So hello, I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for being here. And I also just wanted to talk a little bit about the astrology of the week ahead as well before I get into the tarot reading. So we have a new moon in Taurus tomorrow in the evening. Obviously, depending on what part of the world you're from, it will change, but it's tomorrow and you'll still feel the energy of that on Wednesday. I'm going to do a reading for the new moon in Taurus as well, but I will just talk about it a little bit here because it feels like quite a big sort of event. So new moons are often about a time for setting intentions, new beginnings, the start of something, the planting of the seeds. And with it being in Taurus, it is a particularly if you know me at all, if you followed any of my work, you'll know that I'm not a big fan of like saying things are good and bad. But the moon in Taurus is exalted there. So that means that the moon really likes to be, not only is it like comfortable, but it's like at its best and shiniest place in Taurus. So, you know, it just quite likes to be there, and therefore it's kind of like a nice transit to happen. Not only is there the new moon in Taurus, but we've also got Venus sitting in Taurus, and the ruler of Taurus is, Taurus's planetary ruler is Venus. So you've got Venus in the same house at the same time as this transit is happening. And we have Jupiter in Taurus as well. So Venus is in Taurus, Jupiter's in Taurus, the moon is in Taurus. And these are all said to be the benefic planets, right? The ones that are easier going, let's say. All planets have their place, but Venus and Jupiter are particularly lovely and easier to work with. So I always think Venus is a little bit like honey, and Jupiter is the abundance and the optimism and the plenty and all of that fun stuff. So you've got this kind of imbued with this particular new moon. There is also Uranus sitting with this new moon, and Uranus is the planet of change. So there might be something this week around, even though we've got this sort of gentle, lovely Venus-Jupiter energy with the new moon where the moon likes to be, there is a slight, I don't want to say like a spanner in the works because I don't think it's a bad thing, but Uranus might be the planet that inspires us to take action, because Venus isn't a particularly action-oriented planet, and Taurus isn't a particularly action-oriented sign either. So Uranus might actually be quite helpful in this particular transit because it actually does inspire growth, change, upheaval. I always think of Uranus as being the great disruptor. So I'm curious to see what comes up in the cards as we do the reading today. So for this reading, I am going to use the Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot Deck, which I use all the time. And I like using these cards because they combine astrology with tarot. Like there's astrology glyphs on the cards. So that kind of adds another layer to it that I really enjoy. And I'm also going to use another oracle deck. And because we're in, this week is sort of all about Taurus and Taurus energy, I'm going to be using the Sacred Self-Care Oracle deck by Jill Pyle, because this is all Venus, baby, I mean, look at the image of, this lady on the front. Very Venus, very Taurus. So I felt like that was the deck to use today, and I could see it looking at me. So if you like either of these decks, the links will be for them to get for yourself in the description below. Okay. Whew. So looking at the general energy. Oh, one fell out already. Thank you. I'll take that. I love that. Okay, general energies, please, for the week ahead for the collective. General energies, please. So far, I've absolutely loved the energy recently. It's just been, oh, Taurus, thank you. After such an intense Aries season. Ah, another one's come out, which is lovely, 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 lovely. Excited to share these with you. Okay, get one more, please, for general energies for the week. Oh, gosh. 2 came out there. Actually, no, 3 came out. Is that too many? I'll put them back, see if one wants to come back out. Ooh. Ah, okay. Do you know what? I actually do want one more. I'm going to have one more, please. One more for general energies, please. Oh, I love that. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the cards first, and then I'll talk through what I'm seeing. But as always, take what resonates for you, leave the rest, and also look at the cards yourself, see what comes through for you. The next one we've got is 6 of Swords. So again, looking at that, seeing what comes through. Here we've got 10 of Wands. And finally, we've got the Sun. Okay, so interesting that we've got this one here. I'll come to that in a minute. So immediately when I saw this card, it so speaks of the energy that I'm feeling right now, which is like, if you look at the card, she's just like flowing with life. It feels like very much going with the flow this week. Sorry, I was going to say this month. It's not this month. This week. So going with the flow. And also with Wands, I always feel like it's a kind of like passion, creative energy. And at the bottom of the deck, I'm also seeing Babylon here, the Lust card. And it feels like these are kind of speaking a similar language here. So it really feels like to me, this week is so much about like getting into our, like playful, lustful, creative energy, and quite sort of like feminine, like because we've got so much Venus and Taurus. So Taurus, okay, let's talk a little bit about this actually. So Taurus is the sign that is very much about the sensual pleasure. So not so much sexual, it's more sensual. So like the body, things, how things feel, and like tasting the food and really enjoying it and slowing down and like really just like having the most sort of pleasurable experience. And I really feel like here we're getting like so much pleasure. If you look at the artwork, it really feels like it's speaking to that. We've also got here the 6 of Swords, and every time I pull this card, I always feel like it's about moving from the challenging 5, which in, sorry, the five of, let me start that again. 5 of Swords is where you might feel a little bit sort of defeated. And then here it's like coming out into smoother waters. So again, just like I'm really getting this watery, like smooth waters, just having an easier time this week. However, we do have this, and I feel like this is here because it's sort of saying like there's a sneaky sort of energy here that might be speaking to like where we are putting too much pressure on ourselves. So like this week is really asking us to slow down, and again with the new moon in Taurus. But there is still this energy here of potentially like feeling like you can't slow down and that it's not safe is actually what I'm hearing. Like maybe because it's been so intense for such a while, like we've had such an intense April, and we have, that it might be sort of hard to slow down. So this feels like it's here to be like saying, where are you oppressing yourself? Just be careful that you're not putting on too much pressure this week, because we just don't need to. We really don't need to. We can trust and rest and relax in knowing that this week, like we can just take it a bit easier. I mean, the weather has been really sunny, but the sun here, where I am at least in the UK. And it's very much been like, you know what, I'm gonna take the afternoon off and like go for a walk and enjoy the sun and have a nice time, and like just being mindful of this sneaky, like, you should be doing X, Y, and Z. Like, it feels like there could be this a bit of this energy of it's not safe to rest, it's not safe to relax. And yeah, just being mindful of this energy and trusting that you can, in fact, go out in the sun and heal and recharge and replenish, because we've had so much on and going on and doing things and pushing forward that we do actually need to slow down and rest sometimes, you know? It's so important. I can be very guilty of that, of just like going into action too much and then like not doing enough rest. So I'm really feeling that need this week. Okay, so I'm going to look at potential challenges for the week ahead for the collective, please. Potential challenges. Ooh. Interesting. One more, please. There we go. Thank you. Okay. So here the first one that came out is the Hierophant, which interestingly is Taurus's card. You see that little glyph there? That hopefully you can see that. So that's the Taurus glyph. So this is the Major Arcana Taurus card. So immediately my feeling here is like the reason this, and like you see all the balls on the card, very Taurus energy, but it might be hard to slow down. Yeah, it might be hard to tap into this Taurus energy, just like we were talking about. This also speaks to spiritual practices, right? So the Hierophant is the spiritual teacher, the like, you know, of some kind of higher order. So there might be something here about it being difficult to tap into your own, either your spiritual practices and doing spiritual practices, or more just like your own intuition is kind of what I'm hearing actually. Like maybe it's hard to, again, just this slowing down energy and like going inward and like listening and tapping into our pleasure is actually what I'm getting with this as well, interestingly. Pleasure seems to be coming up a lot at the moment. And then we've also got here the Star. So with this being a potential challenge, I wonder again if it's this thing of it might be hard to trust that things can slow down and things will be okay and things won't fall apart. Because of this 10 of Wands here, I often feel like when I'm in 10 of Wands energy, and trust me, I know this one, it's often like I need to hold everything together. Like he's holding like a bunch of sticks, right? In traditional tarot, he's like holding all the sticks and he's like, I need to hold it because otherwise if I don't, then things are going to fall apart. And it's like, no, like it's going to be okay. Things are working out. It's going to be okay. Really feels important to say that. Okay, so we're going to look at the best part of the week ahead. Please, best part, please. Oh, gosh. Take that. Thank you. Oh, okay. So many fell out. Oh, that one's come out again. Interesting. See if it comes out. Bear with me. Sorry, that was a few too many cards there. Okay, cool. So here we've got Prince of Wands, Queen of Wands. So, I mean, not the same, but so similar, right? And the other one I said that fell out before was the Lust card again. So a fiery kind of passionate energy. So it really feels like you're going to be getting back in touch with your passion. And yeah, like this, it's really, with this being the first card that came out as well, I mean, look how similar they are, you know, so much red, so much passion, so much like creative sparks, feeling like lit up again. That's what it is. It feels like being lit up again, like you're going to be really in touch with like your creative potential. I love this so much. And yeah, I mean, it does indicate a little bit of action as well. So again, there's this kind of juxtaposition of like this Venus slowing down Taurus energy, but also with this Uranus, it's like, but Uranus wants change. It wants something different to happen. So there is something here about that this week. Okay, so some guidance to navigate this week, please? Oh, hello. There's a few too many there. Put them back 1 second. I like this. Okay. 5 of discs. Worry. So don't worry. Like that's what it is. It's like it feels like I need to go with the flow, not worrying, not getting caught up in scarcity and fear. And yeah, this is really what it feels like. It's like the energy is asking us to slow down. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but it really feels like it needs to come out. So it's asking us to slow down and get back in touch with our passion and creative spark. But there is this lingering energy of like, yeah, but if I do that, then things are gonna like fall apart, or I'm not gonna have enough money, or like, what if this or what if that? And there's all this like, what if? And it's sort of saying like, no, like we just need to, yeah, to trust it and to allow ourselves to get back into our pleasure. And yeah, like what lights you up, what lights you up, get back in touch with that, and removing all of this sort of density and seeing all the gold that is behind the mind that is sort of trying to convince you otherwise, that things aren't enough as they are. Things are enough as they are. Trusting that you are exactly where you need to be in this very moment, that you are not falling behind, that you are exactly where you need to be. That feels like quite a specific message for somebody, but feels important. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull some more oracle cards from this Sacred Self-Care Oracle to see what kinds of, what self-care looks like this week, and to give you some inspiration. Ooh, I'm not used to having such big cards. They're really big. Okay, so what self-care looks like for this week ahead. There's one. Thank you. Oh, I love that. That looks so Taurian. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, a few more, please. Some ideas. Oh, hello. Yes. Take that one. Thank you. Okay. Now, I saw this one a second ago. I was like, I'm nearly going to pull it out, but then I didn't. And it's hilarious as well because it's intuition, which my intuition was saying, you need to pull this out, but I didn't. But here it is. Okay, so I'll actually go back to the first one that came out here. So here we've got use your hands. And I love, love, love this because, again, Taurus is about the body. The Taurus is very much about tactile sensation. So it's like how things feel, how things taste, the senses, right? And using your hands is a really good way of getting out of your head and into your body because you're doing something physical, practical. And like, remember, Taurus is an earth sign. So Taurus is very like earthy, practical. It could literally be something like, you know, she's doing pottery here, which I love. I think that's such a nice thing. Or like gardening or something like physical with your hands to get out of your head in your sort of overthinking, because it does feel like there's some overthinking going on here with this card. So getting out of your head into your body, that could also look like, you know, doing some dancing. That could look like something that's, because again, that's a very sensual experience. So something physical. I do feel like gardening or something just like, I'm really getting the visual of something like muddy, like clay, dirty, like just getting messy, painting, doing something but like with your hands or something. Like, I don't know, I just think something like that could be really lovely this week. And here we've got deep breathing, which again, with the Hierophant here, there's something about needing to connect to our intuition, right? And like going inward. I mean, look how similar these cards are in terms of the artwork as well. It's like closing her eyes, holding her heart, and like dreaming. There's something here about dreaming and getting downloads and like tuning in and developing some kind of a spiritual practice. Um, one that I think can be really, really helpful is breath work, because breath work is very physical as well. It's using the body to tap into, like, you know, our intuition, but it's a physical experience rather than like a heady one. So breathing is like quite, you know, physically engaging. And I find this particularly helpful because I have a lot of air energy. So doing something that's like physical and grounding in that way is really helpful. So yeah, so there's definitely a feeling here of going inward and doing something practical, releasing some of this worry and trusting you are exactly where you need to be in this very moment. Um, yeah, I think that's it actually. I think that's everything. So thank you so much for watching and being here. And you know, it's really struggling with words there. It's so funny. But yeah, for your time and attention, thank you so much. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye.